Hey. So, since I've gotten my NutriBullet, I've been making a smoothie at least once a day, preferably in the morning, because that's the time where, you know, you need to have the most energy to get through your day. So, my smoothies have definitely evolved over time. I used to make smoothies with banana and a fruit and some coconut milk and some water, blend it up. That's it. Now my smoothies consist of so much more, but so much more in a good way. So just to let you guys know what I put in here, as you can see, we're gonna start with the frozen bananas. I use frozen bananas because it gives me that smoothie-like consistency, as opposed to bananas that are not frozen. They don't do the same thing. They do the same thing, but the consistency of the texture is gonna be different. So I use frozen bananas. I use a frozen fruit as opposed to using fresh fruit. I like the frozen fruit because it's already cold. You don't have to put ice in there. And the fruit is much more ripe and is much more sweeter. So I use a frozen fruit. So I'm using frozen strawberries this time. I'm also adding sea moss. I use sea moss in there faithfully, okay? This sea moss right here, it doesn't really do anything, but it adds a ton of minerals to the smoothie. It doesn't taste like anything. This is one of the best sea mosses that I have ever tasted. Doesn't taste like the ocean. It's really good. I use coconut milk, obviously, to give it a nice creamy texture, other than my frozen bananas. And I use spirulina. Spirulina is it's a sea veggie. So this is spirulina powder. It's rich in iron, it's rich in protein, and it gives your body a bunch of energy. It has a lot of detoxific properties, and what else? Just basic, like, high nutrient quality. So this is what I use. And I use dates. I didn't put them up here, but I use Magi dates because dates also add a lot of flavor, but it's also good for your digestive system, and it's like a natural sweetener. So this is my smoothie. I'm gonna put it together for you guys, and you guys can actually watch the process. So sit tight. Okay, so we're gonna start with adding the bananas to the NutriBullet cup. I'm not gonna add that many. I'm gonna only add a few, just enough. I never measure. I just add until I feel like it's enough. One more. So we'll probably add that much bananas, not too many, and even that might be too much. So we're gonna just take one out, whatever. Next, we're gonna add a few strawberries. Just a few strawberries, not too many. We don't want to overpower it. We do want that a good balance to the smoothie. We're gonna add 2 teaspoons, 2 teaspoons of sea moss. Put that right in there. I've never had sea moss that came out so good. The texture of the sea moss is so amazing. Simply amazing. Okay. Spirulina powder. Now spirulina is like, it's beautiful. Look at this. Look at that spirulina. Look at that deep green color. See how green that is? That's beautiful. One of the best greens I've ever seen in my life. We're gonna add a scooper of that. We're gonna use the scooper. I keep it dry because spirulina has a tendency to get all over everything. So I put it in here, I take it out, and I leave it out of the jar. So I take 1 scoop put it in there. Straight like that. Put that back. I'm gonna use 2 dates this time because I normally use 3 dates, but using 3 dates, it makes it a little bit too sweet. So I'm gonna use 2 dates. Leave it at that. And last but not least, I'm gonna add some coconut milk. Not a lot, but just enough to give it a nice coat. And I'm going to, actually we can use a little bit more coconut milk. And then I'm just gonna put water in it the rest of the way. Fill it up with water. On these, you have a maximum water line right here, but I don't usually fill it up to the max because I don't want it too watery. Just gonna put the rest of that. So now we're gonna blend it up. And when you're putting the top on, make sure you want to lock it on real tight because I remember not locking it on tight enough and it started leaking. So that can't be good for nobody because we'll wind up losing everything that's in here. So that's on tight. Gonna get all that fruit off the top. Since it's frozen, it's gonna stick. I still have powder at the bottom, so just want to get as much as that powder off so it can blend good. And we're going to blend it up again. One more time. We don't want to blend it for too long because the longer that is blending up in the NutriBullet, you're going to start to heat it up, and then by heating up nutrients, you start losing nutrients. So we do for about 20 to 30 seconds, and then we'll be good. So the texture of this is good. I like the texture of it already. I know that when I open it, it's going to be like the perfect texture. So if you look at all of that, green, healthy goodness. And that's it. That's my smoothie for today. I'm going to take this smoothie and enjoy this smoothie with some cantaloupe. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.